Welcome to Tibalt's Apprentice, Luck of the Draw, episode 23 already.
23.
Yeah, exciting.
Holy.
So, Commander 2019 is out.
Yes.
Are you excited?
Kinda.
Yeah. Well, unfortunately, that's the way I feel about it too. Now, I'm getting the decks. Of course, I'm buying them, but I'm not sure if it's just wallet fatigue. Like I'm tired. I mean, that's my own fault for trying to buy every single Magic card that comes out. But yeah, what do you think's wrong with this set? I mean, anything wrong with it? What do you think? Why are you not excited about this product in particular?
Okay,
is it just this year?
So for Commander products, there are three things I look for.
Okay.
Okay. First one is theme.
Okay.
And so the themes in these decks are, I mean, they're kind of cool.
Well, for me, it's the keywords, right?
Yeah.
And it's none of the keywords that I chose to play. It was never anything that I was. But I mean, that's on me, right? So I mean, other people maybe you love Morph, maybe that's your jam.
Yeah, I'm sure
You're going to be excited by the deck that's out there that features Morph.
Uh-huh.
But I mean, meh.
Yeah.
But anyhow, so theme is one.
So theme is one.
Okay.
New cards.
Right.
And reprints.
So there's only about 17 new cards, is it?
Yes, literally all the cards.
What do you think about the, obviously we have somebody else on set here too. So what do you think about, the reprints? No?
Yeah, reprints are kind of lacking. The only one I'm really excited for is Thrawn Dynamo, I think.
Fair enough. Okay. All right.
Yeah,
so
it's pretty bad.
Yeah, I mean that's not bad. So I was actually talking with John, who's manager here at Game Hub, and
cool dude. By the way,
he talked about the fact that it's great for an entry level product for somebody that doesn't have a single commander deck.
Right.
It's a great way to get into it. It's a great way to start playing this format. And like I said, I went ahead, I bought the decks and stuff. I'll probably keep them. I'll probably save them and put them away. You, of course, can refer to the Cruel Realities video for that and see what's happening there. But anyhow, yeah, I mean, I'll probably store them. I'll probably get one. I mean, the red-black maybe sounds good. I don't know. We'll see what's there. We'll see what we can get.
Madness matters.
Madness matters.
There is a commander that I think would be cool to play.
Yeah.
But it's not even one of the featured commanders.
Gotcha.
And no, it's not Son of Yawgmoth, whatever his name is. No, it's not that one, even though that's kind of my own.
I was going to say, I'm thinking that's maybe okay for me, but...
But there's one, I forget her name, but basically she creates little egg tokens.
Oh, right.
And
gotcha.
So if those egg tokens die, you reveal cards from the top of your library until you reveal a creature card and you put it into play.
Gotcha.
And so that's kind of amazing.
So we got a chance to play last week. We got a chance to play with Josh. So we played a little three-way commander. Who was it that said they were excited about the? So what I thought we would do, instead of talking about the current commanders, I thought I'd break down one of my commander decks, one of my favorite decks.
Oh yeah.
And talk a little bit about it and so on. Now, you immediately made an assumption when you saw this, and what was that assumption?
Oh yeah, well, okay, so the assumption was that it was very painful for you to put this deck together because I saw planeswalkers in it. And so, deploy the gate.
Sure, okay.
Man.
So, okay, that is not in response to the video that I made about hating planeswalkers. I hate the fact that I am forced to play with planeswalkers. Aside from that, I was very happy to get a full set of the zombie planeswalkers and stuff. That was a gift, and for being best man in a wedding, and I very much appreciate that. So I had a deck to put that in, and the best deck to put that in, of course.
Flash the cards here.
Absolutely,
because they look awesome.
The best deck that could possibly go in then, of course, is the Reaper King deck. At least that's what I thought.
Oh yeah.
So I want to talk a little bit about my Reaper King deck. So we talked about this also, you and I, about the fact that, unless you're really going for the lands, that's going to be the best and most efficient way to do that if you're going to do that.
It's the most cutthroat way.
It absolutely is. Now,
that's how you ensure victory.
This is how you. So luckily, I'm not always into victory at any cost. Sometimes I am, but that's a story for another time.
Nah.
So, a couple of things obviously that make the Reaper King work, especially, would be right of application.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. Being able to send 25 things back to their hand, that's good. And something like Deadeye Navigator.
Oh yeah.
But here's the thing with this Reaper King deck, that's a decoy. So I feel like I'm giving away all my secrets, both to the people that I play with and to everybody else. The Reaper King.
Deadeye Navigator.
No. The Reaper King itself.
Oh. Okay.
This commander is arguably a decoy. It's there. It could possibly be played. It could be deployed. But it probably isn't going to be. I can still have fun with this deck because, like I said, I have an entire set of the Planeswalkers in here. So that's the Ally of Zendikar, Last Hope, Flamecaller, all of those. And I also have, just for added backup, Vraska the Unseen.
Oh yeah.
So I always have to make sure to keep my assassin tokens.
Too.
Yeah.
I think that's the coolest printing of that card.
So as she emerges from the darkness there, this of course is backed up with Deploy the Gatewatch, of course. The fact is that this is a hard deck to play against from the standpoint of they're varied in their abilities and stuff, so you don't know where it's necessarily coming from. As far as it goes, the fact that the Reaper King triggers the effect with scarecrows, this deck actually only has 5 scarecrows.
What?
Seems a little short, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Totally.
Rattleblaze, Watchwing, Blazethorn, Lorebound, a Wild Fiend, and a One-Eyed Scarecrow. To back those up, though,
yes,
we cheat out the changelings, the shapeshifters.
Yeah.
So we have a full set of those. Well, not a full set, but we have Changeling Berserker, Warspike Changeling, Chameleon, Battlegate, Amoeboid, Changeling Sentinel, Avian Changeling, and a Ghostling Changeling.
Oh, yeah.
All of those things, of course, give you different keywords and abilities that also duplicate the Scarecrow, because they're all creatures at all times. So I can now get their bonuses.
That enters into play. Yeah.
The thing that actually helps that, though, is the Lunar Marshal.
Yeah, Adric. No,
Because,
awesome.
yes, the fact that you can give all of your creatures First Strike, Flying, Death Touch, since the Changeling have so many variety of keywords, I can always back those up. Just in case I can't get a Changeling out with what I want, a Sphinx of the Steel Wind kind of ensures that I get all those abilities. Since itself, it has Flying, First Strike, Vigilance, Lifelink, Protection from red, and green.
That's pretty awesome.
I like it.
Good stuff.
So the different things that I play also are things like Impact Tremors, Warstorm Surge, and of course Pandemonium leads to Pandemonium, because with so many people playing tokens and small creatures, them hitting the field and having effects make it an interesting reaction. So also, of course, we have those that dislike it, but it's always a good idea to be able to reset the field. So some things like Fated Retribution and In Garrick's Wake are my favorites these days, because you'll notice they'll also hit Planeswalkers. That's where I slipped the Planeswalker hate in there. Even though I am running Planeswalkers, I'm not above destroying my own to be able to get rid of those.
Do what it takes.
That's right. End hostilities, descend upon the sinful, and decree of pain round out those things. But Now I want to talk about the fact that there's just some things that I like to play just for flavor, my own flavor. So we already know that if Illusionist Bracers is coming out, the Ephemeral Alchemist is coming out, and of course there's the Prodigal Sorcerer. But it's also followed up with a Prodigal Pyromancer, and or if I need it, the Cunning Spark Mage, since he has haste. I never really expect to get those combos off these days because you've seen them at this point. But I just wanted to bring out 4 other cards that I play, and I play them because of our play group. And I have to be totally honest.
The most OP card in all of Magic.
The only reason I play this is because it annoys Josh so much. The Elixir of Immortality is something that has to go in every deck, and therefore it's in there.
Sweet!
I'm leaving.
So the good news is, though, that because we play the way we do and we play in a tight group, there's things that I can get away with something like Dimensional Breach. Because I know somebody at the table, that one in Heightened Awareness. I'm not worried about getting rid of my hand with the Heightened Awareness. Because somebody likes to play lots of draw cards, like draw 2.
Oh, yes.
Draw 2,
Draw
take
2, take 2.
Yeah. So I can get away with those cards in this play group. They may not work in other play groups and stuff. The idea of being able to remove all permanents off the board and then rebuilding one at a time.
I haven't seen that card before.
You've only seen it played a couple of times and stuff, but yeah, it's occasionally get to scoop. And the other thing is, because somebody else likes to make you discard.
Who would that be?
I wonder. We have Filth.
That's
The ability to slip that into the graveyard. But that brings us to...
That's just filthy.
That brings us to my question then. We'll end with this.
Yeah.
Is it my responsibility to tell you when you've made me discard that card into the graveyard? I think we've touched on this a little bit before, but how does that go? When you're playing in a multiplayer game, when somebody has a wheel effect of some sort...
Who plays those? I have no idea.
and makes you discard, handfuls of cards at a time, or whatever the case may be.
I've been known to do that.
What are your thoughts on that? I mean, is it my responsibility as the owner of that card to say, "Hey, everybody, I have a filth in my graveyard"?
No, it isn't.
Okay.
Ultimately, if a player is concerned about another player's graveyard, they can ask to see that graveyard.
Okay.
So yeah, if you're concerned of any graveyard shenanigans, and you should be in Commander,
Yeah,
always.
absolutely.
That's why I like to exile graveyards. So, anyways, you should always be concerned about what's in people's graveyards,
Right.
Especially if you're. I don't know who plays these kind of cards, but those mill cards or wheel cards. Yeah, if you're playing those, make sure you know what's in your opponent's graveyards, just so that you know what kind of potential fuel they might have.
I guess the thought is also depends on the type of player you are, the player you want to be. If you know it's going to impact the game or affect the game, I mean, I guess that's kind of up to you and how you play with your play group. Because in the past, like I've felt or chosen to share that with people, just that, be aware, you just made me throw away anger and now all my creatures get haste.
Yeah.
And it depends on how competitive you want to be too, I guess.
Right. I mean, would I be opposed to my opponent declaring what they have in their graveyard? No, not at all. Especially if it has an effect on the game.
Right.
I think that's a good show of sportsmanship.
Good sportsmanship or a good, okay.
Because it has an immediate effect on the game, or will have an effect.
Well, I mean, if it did, obviously if it has an immediate effect, I'm going to declare this is happening.
Well, if there's a trigger.
Right.
But those aren't triggered abilities.
Right.
They just become state-based sort of abilities.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, if you were to declare what it did, I mean, that'd be awesome. But most of the time when cards are being milled, they don't do anything.
Right.
And you know, let's say a card does have an effect when it's in the graveyard, like flashback. You're going to announce every flashback card that you have in your graveyard? Probably not.
Right.
So,
And I'm thinking in a multiplayer game and stuff, that's going to be.
oh,
For the last time we played with our little shark pit and stuff, we had 6 people at the table. If everybody shouted every time you did a wheel effect, 1, 2, 3, like 5 wheels in a turn, then that's a lot of noise coming at you.
Oh, by the way, what did you discard? Oh, how many creatures? How many lands?
Well, you were asking that, but again, it was a triggered effect, therefore you needed to know that. That was awful. What was that card?
It was awesome. That's what that. Oh, Waste Knot. Yeah, Enchantment Waste Knot.
Terrible.
Mwah.
Terrible cards.
Mwah.
So I don't know how much you folks would have enjoyed this episode or are enjoying this episode or whatever. Give us any kind of feedback that you, and I mean any kind of feedback. You think we shouldn't be doing this? That's okay. Tell us that too. But like, comment, subscribe. Thank you for taking the time to watch this. There are two other things on this channel. I'm continuing with the Cruel Realities, where I talk about selling magic cards, the reality of that, what that's like, what's actually involved with that. And actually, maybe I don't want people watching the Apprentice Rules. The Apprentice Rules is for beginning Magic players, where I give you terrible advice on how to play Magic. Yeah, so...
no, we definitely want you to watch that. And then come to our play group.
I'm not sure we want that. Well, I didn't say it was bad advice. I just said it was terrible advice. This is the guy that healed somebody in the tournament just so they could take him out with a rocket launcher the next turn. So
That's awful.
That's terrible. That's the kind of terrible advice you get. Anyhow, thank you very much for watching and joining us. Any day now. There we go.